Man, I have not done one of these in forever, and I haven't done any Rick Wakeman in forever either. We did the King Henry VIII album like about a year ago, I'm guessing. So it's time. Hi guys, welcome to Leave Reacts. Hope everyone's having a good day. Bang. I know I am. We are back with Rick Wakeman, like I already said, and this is courtesy of our patron Paul, who is actually going to be an alpha patron this month because he is the member of the month. Thank you so much for your support, Paul. Paul has been here since the very beginning. I mean, through thick and thin, Paul. I truly appreciate you, my friend. Seriously. He knows my taste in music so well, it's kind of scary. He just picks stuff and it's like, holy shit, you know? So I'm going to stop yapping. This is like 40 minutes long. Rick Wakeman with the, is it the New York Philharmonic or what was it? It's live. Obviously, it's based off Jules Verne's 1864 science fiction novel of the same name, Journey to the Center of the Earth, with the London Symphony Orchestra and the English Chamber Choir, and it was done live January 18th, 1974. That's awesome. So let's go. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. I don't make a cent off these videos. If you want to help support the channel and get more videos like this and, you know, want to just help me feed my family, there is a Patreon and a PayPal in the description. That is the way to do it, and it is much appreciated. Thank you to, I think, the 3 new patrons that signed up yesterday. I had their names right here. Thank you to our new patrons, Cortland Schaefer and Keith Alt. They both joined the past day. Thank you so much for support, guys. And if you want to get your name read too, that's the way to do it. You know what to do. All right, here we go. Rick Wakeman, Journey to the Center of the Earth, live, full album. 3, 2, 1, go. Strap it. Let's go. It even has like a flair of the 18th or the 19th century a little bit. This one it's set, so it fits. This fanfare right here. I don't know why. There goes Rick creeping in.
Iceland, where the mountains stood with pride, they set off with their guide to reach the mountainside. Booked as one for
It's got the smell of adventure to
the
it.
long descent into the crater of
Small steps to begin the journey.
what we went. Look up from our telescopic lamp, one star for us to share. We continue on our prayer.
It's so free sounding when those keys come in. It's excellent. The master of the synthesizer. That's Rick Wakeman.
Crystals are the breakfast and ellipses, forming magic chandeliers.
That sounds trippy.
Light in place the
Like, how young was he when he did this? Wow.
Admiring shades of lava, which imperceptibly pass from reddish brown to bright yellow. Their way lit by crystals appearing as lighted globes. They continued through the lava gallery, which gently sloped until they reached the intersection of two roads. Without hesitation, Professor Lidenbrook chose the eastern tunnel, and the journey continued through a succession of arches appearing before them as if they were the aisles of a Gothic cathedral. The walls were enhanced with impressions of rock weeds and mosses from the Silurian epoch.
Silurian epoch. I haven't heard those two words in a while. He's really good at letting your imagination just like fill in the gaps, man. It's so cool.
The eastern route they had taken had come to a dead end. With 3 days' walk back to the fork to find Arne Saknussum's original route, they found their water rations were limited to 1 day. Knowing their only chance of finding water was on that route, they set off for the fork, and there finally they fell, almost lifeless, on the 3rd day. After sleep they continued down the other tunnel in their quest for water, and whilst searching on his own, Hans the guide heard the sound of water thundering behind a granite wall, and with a pickaxe attacked the wall so as to allow a stream of boiling water to enter and cool in their tunnel. Not only had they found life in the water, but they'd also found a flowing guide to the center of the earth. They called the stream the
Lucky them.
Hansbach.
Okay, here we go. Wow. Holy shit. That's such a cool effect, man. I don't know what exact synthesizer or keys he's using, but wow, that's so cool sounding. I got something in my eye already, god damn it. It almost feels like you're going deeper with each song that passes by, too. It's interesting. Imagine being like there seeing this live. I bet it's pretty overwhelming eventually. Probably it gets to a point. I have a feeling. He always uses the horns very well. I remember that from King Henry.
Replenished with the water, the journey continued with haste, but somehow they find themselves separated. Professor Lidenbrook's nephew Axel found himself alone. His mind was seized with unparalleled fear.
I remember
He
Axel.
saw memories of home flashing before him. His fiancée Groben, his house and friends in
Gotta hate
Hamburg.
that.
He saw hallucinations of all the incidents of the journey. And unworthy as he felt, he knelt in fervent prayer, and then in panic, he ran blindly through a tunnel, only to reach a dead end, where he fell panting for breath. In the darkness he cried. Voices, voices, voices. He heard voices. He heard his uncle's voice. Due to the shape of the gallery and the conducting power of the rocks, his uncle's voice was uncannily traveling around the walls. And by means of their chronometers, they discovered they were 4 miles apart. So Axel set about the task of rejoining the professor and their guide.
Wow. What the fuck? Where did this come from? funky. Love that tone. Okay, this is definitely the best part of it so far. This almost feels like King Henry. That's beautiful. Feels like you're flying.
Memories of a life on earth go flashing past, of home of broken friends of whom he's seen his last, contemplating what his life's been worth, while trapped beneath the earth, an embryo at birth. Pain and fear destroy the beauty I have seen.
She's got such a sultry voice. I love it.
No other man has ever been. Solarian epoch holds me as my grave. My final bow I wait, a life too late to say. Crystals of opaque quartz that in limpid tears, forming magic chandeliers. Light in blistered
Suddenly, the ground disappeared from beneath his feet. He fell down a vertical shaft, his head hitting a sharp rock.
This is so good.
He lost consciousness. On opening his eyes, he found himself with the professor and the guide. And looking around him, he saw an ocean stretching as far as the eye could see. A giant forest of mushrooms, a line of huge cliffs, and strange clouds hung overhead as he lay on a deeply indented shore of golden sand strewn with shells. For a moment he thought he was back on the surface of the earth, but he soon realized that they had reached a world within a world.
There's more truth to that than you know. Oh, the fanfare. So good. Those synths are so good, even if they're in the back of the sound or the front. It's just excellent. That's Rick for you, though, right? This truly has been a journey so far. What do we got next? Silence. Is this the intermission? There it is.
Having made a raft from wood taken from the giant mushroom forest, with rigging consisting of a mast made of 2 staves lashed together, a yard made of a third, and a sail borrowed from their stock of rugs, they set sail from the harbour, Port Gräuben, named after Axel's fiancée. With a northwesterly wind propelling them along at about 3 miles an hour, silvery beams of light, reflected here and there by drops of spray, produced luminous points in the eddy created by the raft. Soon all land was lost to view. But 5 days out to sea, they witnessed a terrifying battle between 2 sea monsters, one having the snout of a porpoise, the head of a lizard, and the teeth of a crocodile, an ichthyosaurus, and the other, the mortal enemy of the first, a serpent with a turtle shell, the plesiosaurus.
did have like a churchy feel there for a little bit. That's cool. Like a hymn. Sick, bro. What can't this man do?
Cumulus clouds formed heavily in the south, like huge wool packs heaped up in picturesque disorder. Under the influence of the breezes, they merged together, growing darker, forming a single menacing mass. The raft lay motionless on the sluggish, waveless sea, and in silence, they waited for the storm.
This is so funky. I was not expecting that. Piercing. What a sound, man. It like overpowers all the other sounds around it. Man, my eyes are gonna hurt after this. You see them lights for 40 minutes. Wow. Kind of creepy.
For 4 days the storm had raged as they clung to the mast of their raft for safety. Finally, with their raft wrecked after being bashed against the reefs, they lay sheltered from the pouring rain beneath a few overhanging rocks where they ate and slept. The next day, all trace of the storm had disappeared.
Ate what?
And what remained of their stock seemed intact. But checking the compass brought only heartbreak, as it showed that a change of wind during the storm had returned them to just a few miles north of Port Gräuben. So deciding to try and find the original route, they advanced with difficulty over granite fragments mingled with flint, quartz, and alluvial deposits, eventually reaching a plain covered with bones.
Tons of rockaby down there, obviously.
Cemetery. A mile further on, they reached the edge of a huge forest made up of vegetation of the Tertiary period. Tall palms were linked by a network of inextricable creepers. A carpet of moss covered the ground, and the leaves were colorless, everything having a brownish hue. Exploring the forest, they discovered a herd of gigantic animals, mastodons,
Forever Autumn,
which were being marshaled by a primitive human being, a Proteus. He stood over 12 foot high, and he brandished an enormous bow, a crook worthy of this antediluvian shepherd.
What else is he gonna throw at us? You know what I mean? I wish he did this for like more books. You know what I mean? This is excellent.
Journey on through ages gone to the center of the earth, past rocks of quartz and granite which gave Mother Nature birth. Burial ground of ancient man, his life no more. The shore now gone behind the hill, the forest in our sight. Rocks and distant
forgot to look at the
mountains
song titles.
blazing waves of blinding light. Forest from afar gone time, no living man has seen. A private prehistoric world for you and I a dream. Rounded gilding takes my eye, no colored hides that fear. Shadows faded, dull and cold, now bleached by atmosphere. Creatures twisting under trees, huge monsters soaked with rage. Hidden deep below our earth, a frightening bygone age. The shepherd game now long extinct, a huge primeval man. The three men filled with disbelief just turned as one and
Wow.
Dumb with astonishment
Holy
and
shit.
amazement which bordered on stupefaction, they fled the forest. Instinctively, they made towards the Lidenbrook Sea. Discovering a rusty dagger on the beach and the carved initials of the explorer before them on a slab of granite, they realized that they were once again treading the route of Arne Saknussemm. Following a short sea journey around a cape, they came ashore where a dark tunnel plunged deep into rock. Venturing down, their progress was halted by a piece of rock blocking their way. After deciding to blow their way through and setting the charge, they put out to sea for safety. With the explosion, the rocks before them opened like a curtain and a bottomless pit appeared in the shore. The explosion had caused an earthquake. The abyss had opened up and the sea was
Damn, lights are
pouring
killing
into
me now.
it. Down and down they plunged into the huge gallery, but on regaining their senses found their raft rising at tremendous speed. Trapped in the shaft of an active volcano, they rose through the ages of man, to be finally expelled out on a
the
mountainside
fuck does that work?
riddled with tiny lava streams. Their journey was completed, and they found themselves 3,000 miles from their original starting point in Iceland. They had entered by one volcano, and they had come out by another. With the blue mountains of Calabria in the east, they walked away from the mountain that had returned them, the frightening Mount Etna.
Rick is a genius, man. Like an absolute genius. What a prodigy. Like, this is crazy. That bass is ridiculous. Bam. He's going in, bro. That is filthy, bro. Come on. Man, I cannot wait to step away for a second. These lights, oh my god. Can't do more than 20 minutes at a time. But for you, Paul, gotcha. In the Hall of the Mountain King. That's perfect to add that in here. I love that. Oh man, we're already getting to the end. Man, this is like floating by. My drink's almost gone, so it's been a little bit. Wow. Like, where do you even begin to talk about this, bro? I guess I'll figure it out. That totally felt like a real journey or like an adventure you just went on. That's crazy. This is the closure at the end. Revelations, man. And we're back to where we started. Wow, what a journey, man. I love this. That's the good stuff. It hits you right here. Ah, the piano to end it. You feel like you're home. For real. That's awesome. Wow. That was excellent. Absolutely phenomenal. You know what? Another round of applause. There you go. You get two. Now, I'm going to step away for like 30 seconds to let my eyes get a little not blinded from the light. Wow, that really was like 30 seconds too. Nice little break. And the light's back. Wow. Where do you even start with that? That was... It felt like a slow burn at parts, but, I mean, if it's telling a story of a novel's a slow burn. So, you know, this is how it's going to be. I think the narration really, really sold a lot of it. I think the narration was excellent. I don't think it was on, like, the level of Richard Burton in War of the Worlds or whatever, but it was really, really damn good. And it made a lot of the parts to me. And it explained everything very well. Like, anybody, if you didn't know the story, could just sit down and somewhat follow it. Obviously, they don't tell all of it, but you could follow it very well. The music, it's like chapters of a book. Like, I know that there's 4 different parts, I think, or there's side 1 and side 2, obviously, but there was like 4 names. What was it? The Forest was the last one. The Journey and Recollection was the first side, and then The Battle and The Forest was the second side. If I had to pick between the 2 sides off break, I might go with side 2, because I really like the funk kind of influence he had going there in a couple of those parts. Because if you look at the re-recording of it, it's broken into like 27 different parts. That's crazy. It went from 4 parts to 27 different parts for the CD re-release in 2012. That's interesting. I think Rick obviously is the star of the show here, but I'm gonna read the musicians we got here. It was Ashley Holt on vocals, Gary Pickford Hopkins on vocals, Mike Egan on electric guitar, Roger Newell on bass, Barney James on drums, the London Symphony Orchestra, the English Chamber Choir. The conductor was David Measham. The narrator was David Hemmings. There's a bunch of different art direction, engineers, production designers, and stuff. But we're not going to go into all that. I definitely, like I said, side 2 is my favorite. The funk was excellent. Whoever was playing bass, what was his name? Roger Noel. He really got to shine the second half there. The stuff that Rick used, he had 3 Mellotrons, 2 Mini Moogs, 2 grand pianos, a Hammond organ, a Fender electric piano, RMI electric piano, a Hohner pianette, a honky tonk piano, which he used that honky tonk piano to absolute perfection when he used it. I definitely think that a lot of the funk influence came from that in the bass in the second half. I think that was a showstopper right there. Whenever it came up, like, my jaw almost dropped. Like, the way he can play those things, anything with keys, man. Like, I've seen him play live a million times on, videos and stuff like that for the channel and on my own time. He is an absolute wizard. Like, he is the one person who can get away with wearing a cape on stage, because that man's a wizard. Like, he really is. He even looks like it. You know what I mean? Man, he's just up there, those fingers just going crazy, bro. Like, I've watched just, like, the angles of him when you actually can see his hands playing. It's absolutely mind-blowing what he's doing. Like, seriously, he's on another level. I think the electronic kind of influence melded very well with the symphony. That was when it first started happening in the beginning, when they were kind of melding the synthesizers with the strings and the horns and stuff like that. I was like, okay, it can go either way. It could be good or bad. We'll see where he goes with it. And it absolutely shines so well. Like I said, it wasn't a very slow burn, but it was a slow burn. And when it kind of built up there in the first half of the first part, it just sort of like set out all the possibilities. It's like endless, it's like your imagination fills in the gaps so well. Like, the horns and the fanfare will go off and you feel like you're on this grand adventure, man. And that's what, it does very well. Like, the music, it really does explain itself well. You don't even need the words. Like, you can just listen to the song and you can kind of get what they're going for. If you knew at least, it was a journey to the center of the earth. I really like all the geology terms. I like the Silurian epoch. That's, I don't know. I haven't heard that in a very long time. I'm not going to lie. I like that. It's a very nice flowing set of words right there. Kind of like cellar door, It's a Silurian epoch. I like that. But yeah, it did the time stuff very well. The geology, there's a lot of scientific kind of terms in there. Like, I think he said basalt once or whatever. Lots of rocks. And I think that's really cool. Of course, there was like that battle between the sea monsters. I think that was my favorite part musically. And the story too. Like, I think the part where he was in the dark and crying, and he was lost, and he was thinking and dreaming or whatever of the outside world up top. I think that was my favorite part in the first side. If that was the first side, it was kind of hard to tell. But there were so many great little sections in this, and I like how it started and it basically ended where it started. Nice little reprise there at the end. He brought it home. Like they said in the story, like, they left through a volcano and they came home through a volcano, and it worked out very well. The very adrift at sea parts, like the synthesizers worked very, very well there. He's very good at, like, setting a landscape, like, it's why it's kind of slow in the beginning, because he's painting the mountains, he's painting the rivers, you kind of have to get everything set up first, and then he just paints everything else too, man. And he's really, really good at that. Just this entire soundscape he's putting in front of you, and it's a feast for your ears, literally a banquet. It's wonderful. And like, he's the gift that keeps on giving. Like, I could listen to that another time. If I had more time tonight, I'd play it again. It's 40 minutes, I'd still do it. I don't know. That was great, Paul. Thank you so much. Like, I'm definitely going through a lot on my end right now. I saw my mom today, and I got some other news as well. It's just like, man, I wish that I don't know. I might have to get another job or something like that. It kind of sucks to say I might have to. I don't know, unless I get some more action on the channel, like from Patreon and stuff like that, I might really have to put it on the back burner or something. I don't want to, but I got to take care of my family somehow. And right now, it's it's all right, I guess, but I can see the writing on the wall, if that makes any sense. And it's just like, oh shit, And it's been really hard to kind of get videos out lately, especially ones like this that are so damn long. It takes a while, and I've had a lot of stuff in my life. Like, I've lost like 3 or 4 different close people to me this year. I lost both grandparents. I lost a friend that I hadn't seen in years, but he was a really good friend. And my mom lost her best friend about a month ago now, and it's It's a lot of losses, man, and it sucks. And I have to escape through music, and I hate that I have to escape. You know, I'd kind of gotten to that point in my life where I didn't have to escape, and I'd been clean for years, had a family and stuff like that. But as of late this year, I've really had to escape more and more. It feels like, obviously not through the ways I used to, but through music, through whatever, through a movie, TV show, just anything to get my mind off the real world. It sucks. Like, I feel like I'm 11 again, and my dad just died, and I'm just like pouring myself into media and stuff like that just to get my mind off anything, bro, and it sucks. And like with this channel, man, like I had one of the hottest channels going there for a second, but then they just like shut me down with those copyright strikes, and that takes the fun out of it. And once you take the fun out of it, it doesn't mean it's over, but slowly but surely you start to resent it, I guess, in a way. And it sucks to say that, especially because I've gotten robbed on here. I've got people steal like literally almost $1,000 from me, and like I don't have it. So it's just like, damn, bro, like people are ruthless. They don't give a fuck, you know. And I've tried my best to be a good host of this channel and try to, you know, give everyone their time to shine, and myself, all of you guys with your picks and stuff like that. It's really hard to balance everything. I'm not gonna lie. I did it well for a while there because I had the blinders on, you know what I mean? I just sort of kept pushing, but eventually once you step back and look at it, you're like, holy shit, that's kind of fucked up what these people did to me, bro. But you keep pressing on, man, and you get stuff like this, and it's just like peaks that adventure part of your spirit that's just like always there. It's in waiting sometimes, even though you might be settled down. That spirit, it never leaves you. It's just sort of dormant at times, but that just reawakened it. And I already had some stuff today that just sort of set me back to like when I was a teenager. It was very, very strange, but I liked it, you know. And I don't know, like I said, I needed to hear this today because my mind is very, very worried about the future right now, like different things, but you can guess, you know what I mean. And I'm gonna try my best to get myself out of it, you know, but I don't know. We'll see where the dice lands. But thank you for watching. Thank you again, Paul. That was absolutely excellent. I'm gonna stop the air. We've already been here for almost 40 fucking minutes probably. So if you guys have any other picks by Rick Wakeman you think I like, go ahead and leave it down below. Leave a comment. If that was your first time hearing it, let me know what you thought. And if you want to help support the channel, as always, like I said, there's a Patreon and a PayPal in the description. Leave a like. Check everything else out in my channel. I've got probably over, 4,000 videos. I don't even know anymore. I don't even keep track, man. It's certainly something. Thank you for being awesome. See you later. Oh, I was trying to be cool. Didn't work on 1, 2, 3, go.